What is up, YouTube? That's here. Today I'm back playing more VGC 2023 Regulation C content. We are using a Houndstone team. For those guys that remember, Houndstone's my favorite new Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. It's being paired with Ting-Lu, Tyranitar, Staraptor coming in hot from Gen 4, and a little bit of Specs, Flutter and Scizor in the back. This team was submitted as part of my Patreon team fixing series. You guys can check out that actual post right here. It's linked in the description. If you guys have teams you want me to take a look at to fix, even the lowest tier, the $2 tier, I will take a look at your team, do my absolute best to fix it. I'm making videos for as many of these teams as possible, and I love how descriptive you guys have been in the teams you're submitting. Today's team is submitted by Matthew, and it talks about Ting-Lu's EVs are made to take 3 D-Gleams from Specs Flutter, which is crazy, 2 Hydro Pumps from Bundle, and then Ruinations for things like Dozo. They talk about Last Respect's Houndstone's really good, and then Scizor and Flutter are solid inclusions, and they just wanted to try Fairy Tera Staraptor because why not? I think the coolest thing about this team is the synergy with all these Pokemon have. I think Ting-Lu Staraptor is really cool. I think Sand Scizor is very, very good. The only thing we might be able to clean up are some of the EVs. A lot of 252 spreads. This Scizor needs to be optimized just a little bit. Tyranitar doesn't need that much defense investment on this team, especially when paired with an Intimidate user. Houndstone's wasting a little bit in speed, and its moveset needs to be polished just a little bit. But overall, very, very good spread. I think the Ting-Lu can be optimized just slightly as well. I really, really like fixing all these teams for Patreon. It's been so much fun using all of your guys' rentals, seeing how other people are taking a look at the meta, and then putting my own spin on all these teams. Hopefully you guys like it as well. Again, we're trying to get every single video to about 100 likes. I know it's a huge ask, but I would really appreciate it if you guys left a like. Don't forget to answer the question of the day. Do you guys think weather is still good in Regulation C? I actually think sand is 100% viable. Almost every single team has a focus sash. Those focus sashes get broken by sand, and most teams are actually rocking like 2 or 3 weaknesses to rock right now. A lot of teams have like Talonflame or Tailwind setters. A lot of teams have Dragonite or Xianpao or, you know, Murkrow or things like that. A lot of teams still have Baxcalibur, Arcanine. There's so many mons that like a well-timed Tyranitar just absolutely destroys. So let me know what you guys think about weather, and let me know if you guys are excited to watch some games. We're gonna go play some games with this team. Wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, going up into this first game, very, very standard. Xianpao, Chi-Yu with a little bit of Flutter, Talonflame, Dragonite, Glimmora. Very, very, very standard. I think one thing that's going to be good here is T-Tar. I think weather is still viable, and I think sand's better than it's been recently just because it breaks the sashes. There's going to be a sash somewhere. All those mons have like rock weaknesses. Almost all of them do. So Tyranitar's very, very good here. We are susceptible to getting burned, but I still think T-Tar is good. We can even go protect like Tailwind and make the T-Tar pretty fast. Does this T-Tar have like any speed investment at all? Ooh, no. So it doesn't even outspeed like anything after it gets... It doesn't even outspeed base 100s after you get a Tailwind up. That's going to be rough. So that being said, what do we want to pair with the T-Tar? Maybe Scizor? If we force their Talonflame to go like all in on that's a good trade for us. So that's fine. And then realistically, I think Houndstone in the back as a cleanup mon is still pretty good. You can go for the Fairy Tera, go for the absolutely massive player up into that Xianpao. And yeah, I don't hate Staraptor here, but I think Flutter's probably going to be the right play. They're going to get Tailwind up though. Maybe we want to bring our own Tailwind setter. I don't think Ting-Lu's right here. 10 seconds. We'll bring Ting-Lu. We're supposed to feature Ting-Lu, right? That's like the whole thing about this team. This team is featuring Ting-Lu. I want to bring Staraptor though. I want Staraptor. But let's see what they're going to go with here. I think the T-Tar needs a little bit of speed. I think the Houndstone's EVs can be tweaked. I think a lot of the mons in this team can have their EVs tweaked. It's a bunch of different 2v2 spreads. They can all be moved around a lot. So let's see. Talonflame, Glimmora. So the thing about this is we actually can totally just go after the Glimmora with this Bullet Punch. And I don't think it's like wrong. I don't, because like, yes, they get the toxic spikes up on our side, but like, dude, I don't plan on switching. I just want to win. Like, literally, I just want to win. What's our Tera here? Water Tera. Okay. It's not worth it, but like, I think this is just a good play. What's our EV spread? We full attack. We're 156 Adamant. We could get away. I'm gonna do it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We clicked it. We're doing it live. Let's go. Tailwind. Nice Tailwind, bro. So you're going to lose your Talonflame and probably your Glimmora here. BP, baby. Again, you're going to get the hazards up. I just don't think I'm going to be switching that much. And as long as we hit this double rock slide, EP's fine into T-Tar. We got that thickness out here. Rock slide misses. That sucks, bro. Who'd we miss on? I didn't want to miss on any of those. At least we hit the Talonflame. That sucks, because, like, we had the Gomorrah KO'd. Like, that's one of those things, like, I let you get up the hazards, but, like, what do you do with it, you know? Get our lefties going. Imagine if that would have hit. That definitely would have KO'd. Definitely would have KO'd. Our T-Tar has some attack investment, right? No, not really. But it still would have KO'd. Okay. So they know that we have the BP into that Gomorrah slot. What are you going to do? Send out Shenpao? We have the Sandstorm up. We need to send out Fluttermane? We have the Sandstorm up, right? So it's like, this is still a really, really good spot for us. It shows that even without, like, the most optimal EV spreads, like, Sand is still just, like, really strong. T-Tar is still really impressive. Chi-Yu's a good Mon here, but we can just go, like, Protect Scizor into, like, a Rock Slide. We can even Thunder Wave it if we wanted to. I don't think there's an issue with Rock Slide here. What's our Tera here? Rock double dip, bro. Dude, do I do it? I do it. We doing it? No, it's actually, let's... I don't have to do that. And let's just go for a Protect here. We could technically even go like Water Tera, Bullet Punch there. But I think they might actually have, yeah, I think I'm just going to go over the Protect. I think they might Spiky Shield here. Looks like no Spiky Shield. Heat Wave. Don't burn my T-Tar, please. Please don't burn my boy. T-Tar's getting its special defense shredded right now, but we should still be able to eat this Earth Power. Should still be able to eat it just barely. 13 HP, baby. We eat those for breakfast. Big Rock Slide. Almost taking out the Gomorrah. That Chief's definitely within range for a Bullet Punch here, right? Definitely, definitely. I think if we had Steel Tera or just a little bit more, yeah, it's definitely within range. Definitely within range. So let's actually think about this. Do we even want to do anything with this T-Tar? Do we want T-Tar to go down? I think we can just Protect. Oh, we don't have Protect. Bro. Gotta have Protect on these Mons, especially if we're running Leftovers. We'll just click this. BP into the Chi-Yu should definitely get the KO still. And we don't have to Tera. We don't have to do like anything. Like, we're just in such a good spot. It shows that like your opponent can have like the really, really good team, but a perfectly well-timed Mon like T-Tar or Scizor can just take apart an opponent if they're not really ready for it. Even if you don't have the right moves, even if you don't have the right EVs, good Mons are good Mons if used in the right way. Taking out that Chi-Yu. Yo, who actually needs checks for Chi-Yu? Not me. And you go with whatever you want. This Gomorrah, like, how many more hazards are you going to get, buddy? So the Earth Power into the Scizor! The Reeds they thought we were going to protect. I would have protected if I had it. Did we miss another Rock Slide? Holy moly, dude! Gomorrah has its dancing shoes on! This is so dumb! Like, I've had that Gomorrah killed like 3 times by now. Dragon Tail would not have been good either, so, like, it's fine. Let's see. Shenpao? Flutter? There it is. There's the Flutter! I know what you're about. Just go for the Rock Slide, and there's no reason not to just BP here. You haven't Tera'd yet, but there's no reason not to do it. BP. Oh my gosh. Dunzo! That thing's gonna take up from Sand. I think. This shouldn't KO our Scizor either. Oh my gosh, just kidding. Ow. The Earth Power's gonna KO the T-Tar, but then I think we're still fine. I think we have one more turn of Sand after this, right? No Protects is fine. T-Tar goes down. I didn't want to Protect with the Scizor that turn anyways. And this is the last turn of Sandstorm right here happening. So they don't get ticked out, but their tail appears out, and now we just bring out Houndstone and win the game in the back. So we're going to get super toxic, but I think it's still okay. Let's see, do we want to go for the Ruination KO onto any of those? Because they both look to be at 1. You can actually KO with Ruination. A lot of people don't know that. It does half, and half of 1 is done, right? It just still gets the KO. So Houndstone, big value here. Let's see, we can definitely check the Flutter though. And I'm thinking about what we want to do here. We can just go Last Respects in that slot, no biggie. And this is where I would really like to see something like an Earthquake. You just go Protect Earthquake or something, but we can just go Stomping Tantrum. I think it's fine. I'm trying to think like if there is... Heavy Slime's technically better because if they had like Flying Terror or something, so Heavy Slime's technically better. Just do it. Doesn't really matter who they protect with, what they want to do, unless they have like a normal Tera. Last Respects, no Protects. We take those wins. Flutter goes down to the Last Respects. I think it's the first time I've ever clicked that move. And big EP, not going to be able to break a Ting-Lu. Not even a critical hit, bro. Ting-Lu busted. slamming it. So it just goes to show, like, you can let your opponent get up all those hazards with Grimora, and you don't even have to care if they don't have the pressure to actually force you to switch. In that game, we missed like 3 rock slides, and we still basically closed it out pretty easy. So we'll take those wins. All right, Wo-Shen with a little bit of Roaring Mood, Bronzong. That's probably an imprisoned Bronzong, right? Probably imprisoned. Okay, so let's actually think about what we want to get done here. I don't think Scizor is terrible here, and I low-key think that, like, the fact that they want to go with, like, Intimidate with the Arcanine doesn't really get as much as they want done here. So things like T-Tar Scizor are still very, very good here. So I'm going to do that exact same lead again. We could also think about leading Flutter, and there's nothing really wrong with a Flutter lead either. Maybe we do Flutter, bring the T-Tar. T-Tar is just such a weird mon to bring here. It has Taunt, but anything worth taunting is going to be... you know, we're not going to bring T-Tar. We're going to still bring the Ting-Lu because we're supposed to bring Ting-Lu, but we're going to Staraptor this game. I want to see Staraptor pop off. I've been a huge Gen 4 fanboy for a long time. Staraptor's one of my absolute favorite mons. And it's just about time someone made Staraptor work without, like, Final Gambit. It gets Brave Bird, Close Combat, Tail, and Protect on a Goggles set. So let's see if we can make something work here. I do think Scizor is going to be a big, hard carry in this situation. So hopefully Scizor works. Like I said, this team has a lot of 252, 252 sets. And I think we're going to be better off than... They probably, like, I don't know. I really think that, like, just U-turn, like, I don't know, who do we go after here? Do we nuke the Bronzong? Is this lower special attack? We don't even have U-turn. I thought we had U-turn. Okay, so I'm just going to SD here then. I'm just going to SD and Dazzling Gleam. I think it's just standard damage here. We could probably just get the Wo-Shen off the board, but, like, I don't think there's an issue with this, and the next turn I pivot out. All right, and then once I get that Swords Dance up, we are just off to the races. What are you swap an Arcanine or something? Like, this is just good damage. This is just good stuff here. And you can totally get your Trick Room up. You could totally go for, like, basically anything. I don't really think I care. Because now Scizor is, like, the unbeatable. Yeah, we're pivoting the Flutter main out anyways next turn. They also Leech Seeded the slot that has, like, the lower base HP, so they're restoring less health with that. Trick Room's completely fine. I think we just Bullet Punch into the Wo-Shen, pivot out, and this is where we're going to get to bring in our Staraptor if we choose to do so. I think that Scizor still has enough damage to get that thing off the board, too. We could even bring in the Wo-Shen, but I don't want to lower my Scizor's attack. Not Wo-Shen, our Ting-Lu. Or, sorry, that's when they attack. No, it will lower special attack. So Ting-Lu's good here. Dude, what if we just Swords Dance again, bro? Dude, I don't think it's, like, wrong. Yeah, let's just bring it in. What else is Ting-Lu doing today? He ain't doing nothing. So just gonna sit. Go for those Ruinations into that Bronzong all day. Ting-Lu, baby! Vessel of Ruin. Protect and go for it. You just get the lefty stick. What are they gonna do here? Gravity? Dude, don't do it. Don't gravity, bro. I will Stomping Tantrum so hard. Blind Hypnosis, maybe? Gyro, that ain't gonna do it. Nothing. Literally nothing. So I think in this exact situation, we don't know who's faster, the Wo-Shen or the Scizor. The Scizor has some speed investment, so it's probably faster than like a min-speed Ting-Lu. So that's why I'm still bullet punching here. But what I'm going to do is also go with probably a Stomping Tantrum in that same slot in case they wanted to swap in the Arcanine. I think the Body Press is probably also fine. But Stomping Tantrum plus the Bullet Punch should be able to get it off the board. BP baby! +2! Oh my gosh, we should have Body Pressed! That's gonna get dicey. That's gonna be hard to break. What's good about this is eventually we'll be... Hopefully it's just KOs, right? Nah, not gonna do it. Unlucky. Unlucky. Knock off into our Clear Amulet. Yo, I needed that. I needed that. Didn't they know I needed that? Body Press seals that slot up. How many turns left on TR? 2? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna SD again, bro. I'm doing it. SD again. Another one. Body Press seals that slot up. And then next turn, I think we can still just Body Press that slot and be fine. This Ting-Lu has a lot of investment in defense. It's not going to be enough. They do a lot with that that Iron Defense, but like they don't just KO things. So this is the last turn of TR. I think Pounce is going to really mess up that Bronzong, especially since it's going to be going slower than Ting. We'll be able to get the Woshin off the board and then just destroy the Bronzong with his Pounce, bro. It's going to absolutely melt it. All right. This should get the KO. No crit. Okay. We're good. We're good. No crits. Or I didn't see if it was a crit, but like it wasn't enough. So Woshin goes down. Ruin Legendary down. We got a +4 Scizor. Neutral Pounce. That's a lot of damage versus a +2 Bronzong. But then the Trick Room's down. And so now, realistically, you can reset Trick Room if you want. But like, what are you going to do? So now Arcanine maybe? I can always Terastallize away. Let's see what they send out. We also have like Flutter Mane in the back. If they don't reset TR, we're in a really, really good spot. Roaring Moon. That sounds like something that can get bullet punched in the mouth. Bullet punch right in the mouth. And get the Protosynthesis to probably speed. Attack. Oh my gosh, they're such a bully. Yeah, I think there's nothing really wrong. They're just going for a bullet punch there. And in this exact spot, there's nothing really worth doing with Ting-Lu. We have Ground Tera. We don't really need that here. I think we might as well just go for like a Ruination into the Bronzong. It'd be doing more damage than anything else. We know there's no Sash on the Roaring Moon, so we don't have to respect it. If they want to go Protect Roaring Moon, Trick them again. I don't think they need to do that. They could go like Protect Roaring Moon and like weave in a Body Press or an Iron Defense, but even if they do that, we have Flutter Mane in the back to be able to win the game. They're going Flying Tera. I think we just OHKO this. Scizor is really big. +4 BP. I think that should be enough to take it out. And if it's not, I'm just really surprised. Yeah, like Scizor, you can't just leave Scizor alone for that long. You can't leave us alone for that long, buddy. Nice Terastallization. And then speaking of Terastallization, more like Ruination into this Bronzong. Decent damage. There's the Body Press. Cool, they actually take that out. They didn't reset Trick Room, which means we get to bring right back out our Flutter and just repin. Really, really good stuff. Like, what could they possibly do? We could bring Staraptor out. No, we'll save Staraptor. Save Staraptor if we need it. Flutter Mane, let's see if it's that Arcanine finally. Flutter Mane versus Flutter Mane. Yo, sounds like a job for the Bullet Punch. Sounds like a job for Bullet Punch. They already used their Tera. BP baby. We're just gonna walk in Dazzling Gleam, I think. Actually, we can just go Shadow Ball. It's fine. We could technically have Terastallized our Flutter Mane to Fairy to lose the defensive typing. They'll lose like the weakness to Shadow Ball there, but it didn't really matter. Cool. We're gonna take out this Bronzong. They're trying to like weave in a Gyro Ball, and I'm like, nah, fam, that ain't me, dude. We respect that. And you know what else we respect? We respect this Flutter Mane. We respect it enough to bullet punch it into oblivion. So we don't even have to show our Tera, right? That's the cool thing about this board is like, if they would have overcommitted into the Flutter and taken it out with like our speed tap from their Flutter, they still would have lost their Flutter and they would have lost to our Scizor. So we can win without even showing our Tera by playing it like this. And that's good for like a best of 2, best of 3, best of 5, best of staying alive, best of Scizor. Scizor's the best restricted, right? Scizor's the best ruin Pokemon. Okay, super standard team. We see Dragonite Talonflame with a little bit of Shenpao, a little bit of Goldango, Hands. Really, really standard stuff. Let's see. What do we want to do to break that up? Goldango's problematic. Like, they can go Goldango Talonflame and just melt our Flutter. So that could be a big issue. Yeah, it's that Goldango, I think, that's giving me a big bad time here. There's not that much we really have to beat Goldango with this team. Like, you can go Ting-Lu, and I guess that's the best thing that we have, and that's just like bait for getting Will-O-Wisp. So like something like Ting-Lu is really, really passive. Like, I think it's way too passive. We're actually gonna lead Scizor Ting-Lu, I think, because we actually just have to start stacking the Swords Dances on Scizor early. And then from there, it'd be nice to make something work with Houndstone. I just don't know how much they're gonna let me get away with that. I'll try the Houndstone T-Tar. Actually, I won't. I won't. I'll bring Staraptor, Flutter. Like, they have so many physical attackers. It's definitely still worth intimidating those. And then even the Staraptor can Fairy Tera away. I think we have Fairy Staraptor, right? It can Fairy Tera away to make sure it takes reduced damage from like Sucker Punch from Shenpao. It takes neutral damage from the ice attacks and things like that. So Staraptor might almost work. And it's definitely going to be something that's going to be fun to try, right? It's going to be something that's going to be fun to try. I want to use Staraptor too, so let's go. Talonflame hands. Okay, cool. This definitely works. So Ting-Lu, like, not the best mon here, but I think that, like, we have options. Our Ting-Lu, does it have a rock attack? Doesn't. Okay. Just a good lead from them then. I don't think there's an issue with just going for, like, a Ruination into the hands and just hard switching in a Staraptor. Get that big double Intimidate, block a lot of what a Talonflame's going to go for. You can totally go for like a Fake Out in any of these guys. It doesn't really matter. But I like this double Intimidate here. And if you want to burn my Ting-Lu or even my Staraptor, I don't really care. Fake Out's fine. Good job. Tailwind's fine. No reason to really Tailwind in this board. It's actually Tailwinding too early because you're not actually getting anything off this Tailwind. As long as I hear Ruination, we're good. There's Ruination, big damage. Nice. Very, very, very nice. So that should be within range, maybe, of something from Staraptor. I wonder if they're going to Volt Switch. I don't mind Stomping Tantruming that thing. And I'm actually just going to go for a Protect here, and then we're going to Tailwind the turn after that. So we're just going to play super, super passive here. And if you want to Will-Wisp my Ting-Lu, I don't think it really matters. That's a Tera. This is a big overcommit from our opponent. They're terastallizing intimidated Pokemon right now. Terastallizing an intimidated hands, going for the flying Tera. Okay, that works. That works for me. Big overcommit there, I would say. Now you actually take neutral damage from Bullet Puncher. That's good. That's really, really good. Let's see if they're going to Wisp or not. I wouldn't be surprised to see Wisp. Brave Bird, block, cool. And you going to go for the Wild Charge? Drain Punch. Not bad, not bad. Drain Punch good there. Drain Punch good play. And we get a critical hit, unlucky, right through the Intimidate. So that kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie. Not the best looking thing for me here. But I do think we're just going to want to fodder the Ting-Lu in this situation. Maybe try our best to go for like a Ruination, maybe into the Talonflame slot. And then just try and get a Tailwind back up. We don't need to do anything weird here. This works. If you want to double into my Staraptor, we actually still should outspeed your hands, because your hands would need a lot of speed. This doesn't kill unless you crit. Yeah. So we're going to get a Tailwind up. Okay, and there's our Tailwind. So we're really going to be putting the screws to you over the next few turns, because we're going to be able to match your speed tier. And then you're going to be able to get this KO here, but then we just get to bring out our Flutter, right? And Flutter's going to be such a good mon here. I think we actually have Power Gem, right? Oh my gosh, Specs Power Gem is about to be coming in hot. Specs Power Gem. I think you just get the hands off the board and pivot out Staraptor to save that Intimidate in the back. Yeah. So you get a Power Gem and you get a Power Gem. It's probably enough to KO, right? I mean, they're probably vested though. Let's think about this. Let's double into this. I think the hands is definitely worth respecting. I don't want to get like wild charged or like, yeah, we just can completely ignore the Talonflame. This is their last turn of Tailwind too, so like next turn we just Power Gem that slot. And they don't have the Galings anymore, so we're just in a good spot. I'm happy that I doubled into it. Look at us, Staraptor boys. That's what I'm talking about, those reads. Their Terastallize is down. Their Tailwind, I think this is their last Tailwind turn. They might have one more after this. We're in a good spot. Yeah, Tailwind peters out. Like, what do you do now? Like, what do you do, huh? You can bring out Shempao. You can bring out... There's 3 or 4 different things they can bring out here. They haven't, like, lost yet, but, like, we're in a good spot. There's the Shempao. I think you just need to get rid of the Tailwind here. And so I think the right play, especially because they already Tera'd, like, we can just go... We're stuck using Power Gem, by the way, so we just want to stick it out here. It's not worth it to Terastallize. Because we still want to... Actually, is it though? I'm going to Terastallize. Just so we take less damage from like a Sucker Punch if they wanted to Sucker Punch us. And we'll Close Combat to break their Shempao Sash. Yeah, this is a fine play. I wonder if they're going to go like Fate or what they're going to be doing here. They could be trying to like Sucker Punch, like 2-shot. Sucker Punch, if we didn't Tera, would 2-shot us, right? If they can hit one Sucker Punch while we're still that Ghost Fairy typing, it'd probably do about like 70%, maybe 60%, depending on their item. So there's a Sucker Punch. See, That still does a lot. Is that another crit? Wow. See how much that did? That would have definitely like probably OHKO'd us if we didn't Terastallize there. So we take that out. And I wonder if they're banded. Because that seems like a lot of damage, actually. It seems like a little bit too much damage. And they're still sashed. But this should be fine. We have Scizor in the back. And it really depends on what their last mon is. I don't see a real problem here with like protecting Staraptor and swapping out Flutter main for Scizor. Depending on what they have. I think we're in an okay spot here. Dragonite. Ooh, that's a dicey one. They have the E-Speed and the Sucker Punch. Yeah, we have to protect Staraptor. We actually can't lose it this turn. And we switch in Scizor. And we just have to protect. We have to protect here. Because we need to draw the Dragonite away for a couple turns. So this is blocking Sucker Punch. This is taking reduced damage from an E-Speed. And the reason we just want to fodder the Staraptor there and try to attack is if we did lose the Staraptor and had to send the Flutter main back out, we would just get Sucker Punch or E-Speed in that slot and we would lose. So this is the best play that we have here. E-Speed gets blocked in the Staraptor slot. Awesome. They're wasting their time. And are they Sucker Punching? Nice. We got in for free. Now, we haven't won yet, but we're still technically doing our best. So we're actually going to want to re-Tailwind, I think. Just so we can, so we don't actually go down to a Sucker Punch. We want to force them to E-Speed. So we're going to Bullet Punch here and just go for another Tailwind, just so we don't die, right? Might as well. And this would also probably make our Scizor like low-key outspeed that Dragonite. I don't think it's going to matter. But they can double into Scizor. They can protect their Shenpao. What we're just trying to do here is elongate the presence of our mons on the board. Cool. We take these Bullet Punches in the Shenpao. Absolutely amazing. They didn't E-Speed either, right? So that means we actually are going to be able to get up this Tailwind probably. Let's see, there it is. And who are you Fire Punching my Scizor? That would probably, like, low-key lose us the game, I think. Dragon Claw's fine. I don't care about that. We already Tera'd, so, like, we have to... We're basically stuck there like that. So, yeah, I think that you can just go Bullet Punch. And I think at this point, we have enough resources to just start trading. I think if you had, like, a Fire Punch or something, you would have already been using it. Battle was canceled. Yeah, we'll take those wins all the way to the bank. That got a little bit dicey, but, like, Scizor cleaned up the game in the back. This team actually does a lot of things right. If we're going to take a look at all of, like, the EVs and the moves, you see, like, this sort of moveset does things right on a spec set. The EVs need work and the moveset needs work, but Ting-Lu is a good choice on this team. Scizor needs a little bit of work too, but, like, it's trending in the right direction. T-Tar needs a lot of work, but T-Tar we already saw when paired with Scizor is a great anti-meta pick right now. And Houndstone I think needs a little bit of work. Staraptor needs a little bit of work, but the idea behind the team is actually really cool. So what we're doing now is going and taking a look at all of these EVs in a lot more in depth and hopefully cleaning them up, fixing them up, and playing these a few more games on Showdown, showcasing the changes that I'll make on this team. Guys, let me know. This is the halfway point of the video. Do you guys like this sort of video where I fix these teams? Don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to leave a comment. And yeah, let's go take a look at the rental code once again and hop right into the team building section. So once again, here is the rental code. The double Fairy Tera on Houndstone and Staraptor is really cool. I think the Ting-Lu needs a little bit of work. Flutter main's pretty okay. And then Scizor and T-Tar can definitely be cleaned up. There's a lot of 2v2 spreads going on. And a lot of no protects on some of these mons. So what we're going to be doing is taking a look at all of the EVs and everything, breaking things down and fixing things as I see fit. I think the first thing to do if we're taking a look at the Houndstone here is to clean up some of these EVs. I think 120 is wasting a lot of points because remember, this is going to double thanks to the Sand Rush. And you could technically like jolly it, make it even faster to be able to outspeed you know, a couple other like Scarf mons in the meta or things that would be like a much lower speed Pokemon that would get like a Tailwind boost or something. But I think just being able to outspeed Pult is probably the right thing. And to outspeed Pult, you need to get to 107, which would double to 214. So realistically, we can actually take a lot of these points out. We can actually take a lot out. And I would stick it at 108 to speed creep things and speed creep Pult. Remember, Pult did just win a regional championship, so there are things that are speed creeping Pult back again. So 156 is a good number. And then we have all these extra points to be able to do whatever we want with, and we're still going to be that Adamant Nature. So we can then mix that up into something like a 92 spread here with a 4 in defense. So we're really, really bulky, and realistically, we can actually go with like an 84 here to keep this at an even number, which means we get hit with Ruination, it's going to activate our Citrus Berry immediately, and we can just throw the rest of these points into Spadef. I throw them into Spadef just because there's a lot of special attackers in the meta right now, and you do have Will-O-Wisp on this set, so I would say that you definitely want to beef up the Spadef a little bit. There's a lot of like Dazzling Gleams, there's a lot of Make It Rains, a lot of the attacks in the meta like Heat Waves, they're all special attacks, so mitigating points to Spadef or special attack is really, really good. We also don't need Helping Hand. I don't think you really need Helping Hand for anything. The biggest thing you want to add on these things is you need Protect on so many of these Mons. It's so important, especially on these weather cores, to have your Mons be able to protect and weave in another piece to make them work. It's good for waiting out their Tailwind, waiting out their Speed Control, waiting out their Trick Rooms, things like that. It's so good, and it makes it so you actually get more value off of your Will-O-Wisp and stuff like that too, because you weave in a Protect, you're able to turn to do more damage. Going to the T-Tar here, again, you really think about what you're taunting. Are you taunting like a Trick Room? You mean the thing that you can Dragon Tail? Are you taunting like a Calm Mind? Well, they're probably faster than you anyway, so you're not going to get it off. Like, what are you taunting with the T-Tar? Because realistically, anything worth taunting is going to be redirected, taunted, or they're going to have a Mental Orb or something like that. So taunt is just not really required on a Tyranitar here. So you want to have that Protect so you can actually put your Leftovers to good use. And I also don't think that you need Dragon Tail in this set. It's just not a good spot in the meta right now. I do think that Assurance is actually still a really, really good option here. But if you didn't want to use Assurance, I would just use Assurance. I don't see why you wouldn't use Assurance on this team. I think Assurance is going to be really good. You have the pairing of the Houndstone. You can pair it with Scizor. You can pair it with Flutter. You can pair it with Staraptor. It's just a good move. It's going to deal double damage if they take a damage already. And you can mess with our EVs a lot and be able to fix that. So speaking about messing with our EVs, again, you don't really need to mitigate this much into defense, especially because you have a teammate that is using Intimidate, right? You have an Intimidate teammate, so you don't need to put that much in defense. Also, we can change our typing. I think there's nothing wrong with going Ghost here. A lot of people like to go Flying. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with Ghost. It mitigates damage to all those big E-speeds that are running around. All that stuff's going to be mitigated. You can also block all the fighting attacks that are running around. So you don't actually have to care about those big weaknesses to all those physical attacks if you don't even have a type in that can get hit by them. So you can actually take a lot of these points out. The thing I would really want to focus on is making sure that we can finish off things that we know we want to OHKO with Assurance after they take damage. So let's see. Let's think of a common double up. I would say Goldango is a common enough double up for T-Tar. And so let's go to a damage calculator and let's plug in Goldango. All right, and so we're going to take a look at the guy here. Plug in a Goldango on this side, plug in Tyranitar over here. And we're going to set these to level 50, obviously, and see how much damage how much attack investment we need with Assurance to be able to get that KO. We're going to set this to a 120 because it's going to be double. So you can see that KO's Goldango straight up, but what if they're like a Goldango that has like 236, right? They are going to be able to live that in some situations, and so that paired with like a Flutter main D-Gleam, that would still be able to KO the Goldango with 0 attack investment. But what happens if we're intimidated, right? That's not going to be able to KO. So we need to find out what this low roll Assurance does. We need to also find out how much our D-Gleam does from our Specs Flutter. So let's plug that in first to be able to always KO that bulky Goldango set. All right, here we go. So Flutter, let's just give it 252, Dazzling Gleam, and let's set it to doubles. All right, and we got to give ourselves a Specs. All right, so low roll is 21.8. So for T-Tar, we need to get the number up to 79.2, right? Sorry, 78.2 is what we have to get it up to. Because we're looking at the low rolls since we're the attacker in this situation. All right, Assurance. And set it to a 120. All right, and give ourselves an Intimidate. So can we even get it up to 79.2 is the question. We can't, but we could then, technically, probably, what if we went Adamant? Definitely get that then. So we take out a lot of these and go Adamant and put our Nature to work, being a 10% boost. 79.1 is the low roll. I think we can actually afford the luxury of keeping it at 79.1 and having it be like a 0.11% chance to get the KO. Probably going to be... That's good. 132 Nature is more than enough to guarantee getting a KO. And if they're not full bulk Goldango, they're definitely just going to go down. So 132 is going to be good there. Make sure we're using our points correctly. Yep. And then the rest of these points can be put in so many different places. I think your T-Tars want to get up to 90, so you can outspeed... Sorry, 91, so you can outspeed things like Mouse Holds. And Lycanrocs, opposing Lycanrocs, if there is no Sandstorm, like let's say we wait out the weather, or we have a Tailwind and like they don't have anything like that, we're going to be able to outspeed those guys. So 76 is good there. And you're going to split this up into basically any other stat you want, but we already talked about heavily favoring that SPDEF stat. So like a 44-4 here is going to be a much more balanced way to use this spread. And also those Thunder Waves makes it so we can start outspeeding a lot more things and just being a bully with Rock Slide. So very, very solid, normal, good T-Tar set here. It has the damage, it has the defensive capabilities, it has the speed control, and has the speed that it needs to actually capitalize on that speed control. So much better T-Tar set in my opinion. As for Scizor, you know, we won basically all those games off Swords Dancing, but I actually don't think that you need Swords Dance on Scizor. I actually think that you probably want to go with something like a Life Orb. And what I would do on the Scizor is actually cut the Swords Dance, and I would cut the Pounce, and I would go Close Combat here. And what you do is you just delete something. Like Garg, delete. What is it? Wo-Chen, delete. Like, they're just absolutely done. And you can also just make this U-turn. So you don't need nearly as much setup if you change the EVs a lot. And you're going to be able to hit basically as hard as you would have been hitting if you were to make your set something like this, like 252. You're going to be able to hit as hard with this Bullet Punch as you would have basically off that first Swords Dance. And we don't really even care about getting intimidated because we're just going to roll them over. Their Arcanine can't really switch in on this close combat and still mitigate this much damage from the rest of our team. So very, very good set here, going heavy investment here. I think 188 is going to make it so you end on a 9, so you take less damage overall from your from your Life Orb. And then from there, you don't need this much speed. You only need about 44 to be in that same spot that T-Tar is, but realistically, I think Scizor should just be a little bit faster than T-Tar, so you're not speed tying your own T-Tar. So let's say you did want to close combat and Rock Slide. You want to know which one's always going first, and in this case scenario, Scizor will be going first, so you can then U-turn and then Rock Slide if you want. This also lets Scizor still be faster than T-Tar, so you can go U-turn and close combat to play into Tyranitar's Assurance. And then from there, you have some extra points. You have 8 extra points, and just like with T-Tar, put those in SPDEF because we want to mitigate this damage to SPDEF more often. Very, very solid. I would also say I would recommend going Steel Tera here over Water, but there is so much value in going Water in those late game scenarios, especially playing against like Shenpao and stuff like that. So I think Water's absolutely fine versus how you want to play it. Ting-Lu. Now this is a weird one. I feel like there's 3 or 4 different ways to play Ting-Lu. You could play the Stomping Tantrum Fissure play. I don't mind keeping the AV on it, but what I would actually do here is I'd put a little bit of speed on it, and I know that's what a lot of people don't like doing. That being said, this EV spread here wastes points. 30's not getting you anything. You see 30 doesn't get you anything, and it's at 134, the actual number. 29 doesn't get you anything. 28 doesn't get you anything. Well, 28 does get you something, but like 30 doesn't get you anything. You're wasting points there. So 28 is actually where it should have been. You know, you couldn't even use those 2 points anyways. So that being said, the EV spread, when they actually submitted this team, they said that right here, Ting-Lu's EVs were calced to take 3 D-Gleams from Specs Flutter and 2 Hydro Pumps from Bundle, Ruinations for Dozo, and other monsters team might struggle with, right? And I feel like this EV's fine, but you do still want to put some in HP. You can probably still mitigate about the same amount of damage by putting some of these points in HP, especially the points that are in defense, into HP. So I think you're still going to need about 100 points in HP. You'd be a fool not to use it, right? And then realistically, you could probably put like the rest in some of these other points. 28's not really getting you anything, but if you want to have it, you go nuts. And like 144, this is going to be a little bit better. I do think that you're right, though, having like heavy SPDEF investment is going to be good. Especially on this thing, like it's just a good way to play it. It already has such a high base defense. This is just going to be a better way to play it. That being said, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot by not having the Fissure on this guy. So the Fissure isn't just for using Fissure, right? So if you want to use Fissure here, and I also like the Heavy Slam for being able to hit Flutter Mains, the Fissure here is going to fail. And when it fails, you're going to be able to go for a Stomping Tantrum that will double in power. So it's a 150 base Stomping Tantrum. So it's a really, really good, solid way to play the Ting-Lu that also still you can just win the game off that first Fissure. So I think that having the Fissure here is the right way to play it. That being said, I have a really cool Ting-Lu team coming a little bit later this week maybe that uses like heavy speed investment in like Tailwind, and you play it kind of like a Garchomp with like big Earthquake stuff. And I think that's also an option. It's just there's not enough like flying mons on this team to really make it work. But that being said, I would use a Stomping Tantrum Fissure set on this one. It kind of just makes sense, and that's how this Pokemon should be played, giving the tools and the other teammates on the team. Flutter Main's fine. I think that I like this moveset fine, but what I would do here is I would actually change the Tera from Fairy maybe to something else, maybe something like Steel. And the reason is you don't want to take the chip from your Sandstorm, and also like Steel Tera is just a good defensive Tera. You don't have to you don't have Moonblast, so like double dipping your Fairy Tera isn't really getting you that much value But going Steel Tera to like not get absolutely bodied by like a Ghost move or like a Steel move, and actually getting 2 hits with any of these moves is really, really valuable. Like you can just lead versus Goldango, Steel Tera, Shadow Ball. If they wanted to Steel Tera as well, you hit them, they hit you, you don't die, you hit them again, you win. And then like that's good, you know? So I think Steel Tera is just a good one, and you don't take chip damage from your Sandstorm, so it's just a solid. And as for Staraptor, if you want to keep the Fairy Tera, I think it's kind of cool. Staraptor's fun. You do still need to be full speed, though, to at least be tied to Chi-Yu. And I think, like, Close Combat being good versus Chi-Yu and Brave Bird, these are solid options. Staraptor's a cool mon. Safety Goggles makes it so you don't have to care about Amoonguss. You can then switch in. I'm a huge fan of this. Like, whenever you see Amoonguss, you can switch in the Staraptor slot, soak the Spore, and then repin the Amoonguss with, like, a Brave Bird, threaten a Tailwind. It's a good mon. On this team, it's actually really, really good. So these are the small changes I would make. I'd make the Houndstone a little bit bulkier, give it Protect, give the T-Tar Protect, make it a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more well-rounded. Give the Scizor a little bit more, immediate turn 1 pressure. Make the Ting-Lu a little bit more standard, move its EVs around, and make the Flutter main a little bit more defensive. And hopefully you like these changes. We're going to go play some games and see if we can win them on Showdown with the changes that I made, and hopefully we win them. So wish me luck. Here we go. Okay, Toxtricity. I wonder what the Drifblim's doing. Is that going to be like Flare Boost Drifblim? Oh man, that's crazy. We have to watch out for the backs, but I think we're like low-key fine in a lot of these matchups. I think like Houndstone T-Tar is good. There's no weather here, right? So we can actually just lead like so many different things. I think there's nothing really wrong with leading T-Tar and Flutter, just opening up really, really big off the first turn of the game. Something like Scizor in the back with like a Houndstone to clean up. That's what I would be using here. They can go for like Trick Room stuff with their Armarouge, and I don't think that's the biggest deal. I think the fact that we have Power Gem, we can Power Gem the backs, Power Gem the Armarouge, Power Gem the Drifblim, Power Gem the Dragonite, Power Gem the Iron Bundle. Like there's so many situations which like Power Gem just absolutely pops off. And I really think that like, I like the Steel Tera on the Flutter main, but like there is some value in maybe having like a Rock Tera as well, being able to potentially double dip that Rock Tera stabs makes our Power Gems hit even harder. I wonder what they're going to try and do here, because they shouldn't have a way to activate the Drifblim's Unburden. They don't have any sort of seeds really, unless they have like a manual terrain set or something. The Drifblim's, are they gonna Ice Shard Policy Pocket? No way, bro. That's weird. I think there's nothing wrong with just trying the Rock Slide, and I'm more afraid of that Drifblim than I probably should be. If they get up Speed Control, it could almost get dicey. So I'm going to respect that slot. And I respected correctly. Any Policy Proccers? There you get the Tailwind off. Hey, they got the Tailwind off. That's bad. That's not good, but it is what it is. We did the best that we could. It's a really thick Drifblim, by the way. So they have a Tailwind up, but we do have stuff like Scizor in the back. So there's the bundle. I don't know how much we realistically care about bundle. They get a speed boost. I think we can realistically just go Rock Slide here, and then I would just pivot in the Scizor. And then we're going to be able to Rock Slide plus Bullet Punch. Should be able to maybe take out bundle. Should maybe take out bundle. It's neutral damage unless they Tera. Ice Shard not going to do it here. They're probably double dipping that slot. Icy Wind's fine. We heal that with Leftovers on T-Tar. That's another reason why there's no real reason to go for... Oh my gosh, we just one-shotted. Critical hit! See, that's that difference. That's an attack investment difference. Baxcalibur's within range. They take the scoop, and we're going to go in another game because that one was just way too fast. Okay, I'd agree. This one is much more standard. It looks like they're going to be playing Trick Room with like the potential of like Torkoal being a huge bully. I think Scizor's a great mon, being able to pivot in that T-Tar if we need it. So I think we could do like lead T-Tar and then pivot in T-Tar. But I also don't really hate like leading Ting-Lu Scizor and just popping something, U-turning, bringing in the T-Tar, the Ting-Lu, and just cleaning up in the back. So let's try that. So here we go, Scizor Flutter, NDDs, and Armarouge. So they can actually do a few different things here. They can do a few different things. I kind of want to force the redirection. I am going to go Water Tera. I don't know if we need to do this, but like I just don't want to get melted. We're going to click the U-turn into the NDD, and I don't really see an issue with just clicking the D-Gleam. That's probably going to be a Sash and Entity, and I actually want that Mon to be gone, right? So I can actually go into my Ting-Lu, soak some damage, and then bring in the T-Tar after we see Torkoal. You always want to save your Weather Setters until you see their Weather Setter first. So we want to actually KO something and force them to bring in their Torkoal. They also have the potential to go like Amoonguss here, and Amoonguss can be a little bit dicey. So let's see what happens. T-Tar also has like Protect. We should be in a pretty good spot here. I think right now what they're wondering is if they want to overcommit and just like armor cannon turn 1. That's probably what they're thinking. Like if they went for the armor cannon into our either of our mons, they would be super punished, and then we're big checking this Entity. So if they're trying to set Trick Room with Entity, they're going to be big punished. There's the follow me. It's a standard play. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. Good damage against both. U-Turn's going to get the finish off. They can go for anything they want here with this Armarouge. I think we want to show the Ting-Lu, like I said, and force them to bring out that Torkoal right here. This weakens the special attack. Armor Cannon, that's what I'm talking about. See, big punish. No Trick Room. And you get the stat drop. There's the Woshian, but like we already are still locked in D-Gleam. So I think we're in a really, really good spot here. I think we actually want to probably just double dip into that Armarouge. And I think like both of these will be able to get it. They could have totally went for some sort of like Y-Guard or something. I think that's fine. Pollen Puff, the side Armarouge, good play. Let's see how much damage we do with this. Stomping Tantrum, big damage. You can trick them if you want, but then I underspeed you, right? And so I think in this exact situation, they probably have Grass Tera, but that's fine. This is fine. Ting-Lu underspeeds. Like, what are you gonna do? What do you do? What do you even do here? Absolutely nothing. Show me that Torkoal. Say it again. There's the Torkoal. There's the boy. Okay. Yeah, and we just go Stomping Tantrum. You don't want to miss. That's why you go Stomping Tantrum. You just hard switch in the T-Tar. Take away the Sun. The Spadef boost. Fire double dip. Eruption weak. You're weak, bro. Never seen something so weak, bro. And then realistically, Ting-Lu can do basically whatever it wants. Probably just going to get KO'd this turn. And we just go for a Rock Slide. They burn us. Hey, unlucky. 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 But we're still going to get it. And then we take the win. There's nothing that they can really do here. And we still have the... what is it? We still have the water typing there too on the Scizors. Like it's still, we're still super, super fine. So yeah, we'll take that. Even against like Trick Room teams, like you have the option to slow down the game so much more by saving your T-Tar. So hopefully you guys like the changes I made to this team. And if you guys have teams you want to submit, you guys can 100% still submit teams on Patreon. I'm going to do my absolute best to get to every single one of these posts. We have so much cool stuff happening on Patreon this month for Regulation C. Even the lowest tier members on Patreon get access to all these posts, access to tournaments, access to team submissions, access to all the rental teams and all the different teams that I'm showing on Patreon. Every other day there's a brand new team that I don't actually show anywhere else. If you guys want to see the really, really cool anti-meta stuff that I'm working with, think about checking out the Patreon. And other than that, you know, thank you so much to Matthew for submitting this team. I really liked it. I think Staraptor was a breath of fresh air. And it just goes to show that, like, you can still definitely use weather. Weather is not over. At least sand isn't. I think sand Scizor is actually still really, really cool. And it's great checked out. There's so many people running around with so many weaknesses to rock on their team. So respect the classics, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.